Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open. It is Friday, so you already know, like we are each and every single Friday, we're trading options. We're reviewing our plays from this week. And I got to tell you, we are pushing and we are pushing really hard. We've already surpassed all of our goals for 2025. And so now we're putting a little bit of risk on, especially when I've seen some nice pullbacks on some assets that I want to be playing. So let's go over this week. Let's go over the plays we have on the table. And then let's go over why I played it a little bit more aggressive when it comes to the plays this week. Right now, the account is sitting at about 19,854, up about 0.5% for the day. For the week, up 273 or 1.4%. For the month, up 4% or 769. 3 months, up 5,400. Year to date, up 48.38% or 6,470. 1 year up 128% or 11,163. And then all time since we opened this account just over 2 years ago, we are up 144% or 11,717 with buying power available of 614. But first things first, full transparency as always. What the heck happened this week? Well, you guys know we ended up switching from our regular MSTX and we played a little bit of Hood. And the reason why I did that is because the stock has been beaten down. If you guys have probably seen it, you know the stock was, 116, 118 a couple of weeks ago, now down trading around the 100 mark. And so what did we do? Well, we sold some puts. We sold the 94s. We got paid $100 and $190 for that. And then we had a massive sell-off during the week, and I had a little bit of cash available, so I ended up selling some MSTU puts, 2 of these at the for $15 a piece at the 4.5 strike, and those are going into next week. So we're still chilling on those. And then earlier today, actually just a couple hours ago, we ended up rolling the short puts out. And the reason why I did that is because we had a nice pullback on Hood and I saw the opportunity to get some credit here. So what I did is I rolled the 94s from this week down to the 93s. Now I did pay 0.07 to close. I could have waited till the end of the day possibly. But the one thing about waiting till the end of the day is most of the time on the flip side, it all equals out, because what happens is, yes, you can pay less to close your current contract, but there may be less money on the table when it comes to the 93s. And you will see that when we go into the brokerage account that is the case. So that's where we're sitting there. We had a nice credit, so a $302 credit for the roll. And we made a lot of money. We made over $174 worth of premium this week. And then obviously another $300 today. So in the first week, we technically hit the entire month's goal already. Now, obviously, a lot of things could happen, right? Hood could go in the money. We could get assigned shares. The account value could drop. That's part of it. And then we switch to the covered call. But I want to try to get some shares, especially if I can get them in the low 90s. That would be awesome, considering this stock, if it got to that point, would be down 20% from its high. And that's a pretty good buy. So that's where we're sitting in the account right now. We are playing Hood and MSTU. We have $614 worth of buying power. The only way I'm going to use that is if we have another massive sell-off next week and I can sell one more MSTU, put it the 4.5 or the 4 and get paid a little bit of premium there. But honestly, taking the assignment of MSTU at 4.5, there could be some really, really good premium there. So we're leaving those 2 plays on the table for right now. And then we have the 2 plays on Hood at the table. Now, when you see the plus 86, that just means that if I sold the same contract now, that I'd get paid $86 less. So far that roll really did well for us. And it looks like we timed it pretty well. We'll see what next week brings. We could have more sell-off. We could not have more sell-off. But for the most part, things are looking really good. Contributions at 1,250. 2 plays on the table. No stocks, no ETFs. We are 100% cash in this account. And we're just going to keep swinging. So I think we can probably, if this play ends up going, staying out of the money and goes all the way till Friday, then we're probably looking close to the $20,000 mark in the account, which is a huge milestone considering we were just over 10,000 at the start of this year. So we doubled up the account, and you guys can see that in the annual return, right? We're already up in the last year 128%, and we just keep climbing. So we're a little bit more aggressive this week, especially on the deltas. If we come to the delta on MSTU, we're looking at a 0.19, which is pretty aggressive. When we look at Hood on the delta, we're 0.20, so it's pretty aggressive there. There's an 80% chance or so that I'm going to get assigned on these options. But for me, I'm okay playing Hood. Like I said, it'd be 20% down. We're playing it into what I think will be a massive next couple of weeks. They have the potential S&P inclusion. It's possible we get it tonight. I don't think so, but it is possible. If that happens, it's going to absolutely moon. And then on the flip side, they have a lot of news coming out. They're going to be launching the banking, and we'll see how that goes. And then we'll probably get some updated numbers on how the company is doing. So that's all the plays on the table as of right now. Full transparency as always. Here's every single trade we've made the entire year. We've showed it each and every single week. We booked 176 last week on the hood plays. Right now we have $346 in play between the MSTU and the hood. And if you want to look at the percentages, the MSTU play was a 3.3% return on my capital, and the hood play was 1.7% return on our capital. We've already now surpassed $6,000 worth of book profit in the account outside of the open plays as of right now. Hood coming up at 764. MSTX, of course, our favorite, just under 4,000, and then TSLL, another favorite, at 1,143. So we're looking really good there for the month. It's actually kind of mind blowing. Obviously, I'm playing with more money on more contracts, and we're playing a little bit higher delta. And so we're making more money, but kind of crazy to see September already at 522, considering we started at 19,592 and we're already pushing closer to that $20,000 figure. It's nice to see where we're sitting, averaging 723 a month in premium. If we go to the data, 36 weeks into the year, $175 of premium on average a week. We obviously just doubled it this week. We'll see how it goes. And we hit over 175 for last week. Average capital used 15,280, and average weekly return for 36 weeks of 2025 is 1.15%, which is absolutely stellar. How are we compared to last year? 160 last year in September. Right now we're at 522. The goal in September this month was 469. We've already surpassed that by a long shot. We are, $52, almost $53 over that. And the current balance sitting about around that 19,850 puts us up to, almost February, almost March of 2026 when it comes to the actual trajectory. And here's how the table looks, right? Everything for this week. We sold puts this week, and then we rolled puts this week. So next week, if we let them expire worthless, we'll probably show a zero, just depending on how things play out. $6,313 worth of annual income so far. The goal was $5,143. We obviously blew that out of the water. The goal at the first of the year we set was $18,184. We obviously blew that out of the water as well. And now we are going for $22,000. So that being said, we still have a ways to go, right? We're $1,665 above our goal that we set for 2024. Our new goal, we're about $2,550 away from the $22,000 balance goal. And of course, I'm going to show how I think I can get there by the end of the year. And we're going to be making a little bit of more aggressive plays in order to get there, because I set a lofty goal. I set a short time span to do it. And so we got to get rocking and rolling. And I'm going to continue to just keep pushing the needle there. So we're going to keep pushing. And if we stay on this trajectory, this is obviously off the 19,550, and we do 2.5% a month. That puts us by January 1 at 22,160, which I think is possible. That only means that we need $122 a week in order to get it done in September. We're obviously blowing that out of the water so far, but a lot of things can happen, right? I mean, I can get assigned on puts, and then hood could move down to 80, and then we have to fight our way back. So we just chill. We make some plays. We slowly but surely build the balance up. And we just keep making smart plays. And I think this was a smart play for this week. Hood's been beaten up. They have a lot of good news coming. We pretty much got a pretty good signal that we're going to be getting rate cuts in the next 2 weeks. As of right now, the data is showing pretty much no chance of us not getting it. It's a 90% chance we get a single 25 bip cut, and there's a 10% chance we get 0.5. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. But that's where we're sitting in the account, nice and cash heavy, nice and to the green. We're continuing to push the needle, 144% up in the account. We're pushing the sucker to 22 by the end of the year, 22,000. And I hope everybody else is doing well. If you followed the plays, I hope it panned out for you. So far, it's been really, really good, and the market's been super, super easy to sell cash here puts on. So enjoy it while it lasts. I'm sure a bear market will come at some point, but for now, we are just going to continue riding the gravy train. So appreciate everybody. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for tuning in, as always, and supporting my content. I hope that it at least challenges or makes you think about the plays you're making, or gives you some opportunity to make similar plays. So appreciate you, and happy investing. We'll catch you next time.